Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will try to understand the basics of research in social work by gaining an overview of few fundamental aspects of research. After viewing this video, you should be able to comprehend the following. What is research in social work? Need and importance of research, types of research, and process or types of research in social work. So let us now try to understand what is research in social work. It is a systematic process of understanding a social phenomena. The process involves a scientific approach to gain authentic information or knowledge about a particular social phenomena. Based on this premise, scholars have tried to define research in social work. So the following definitions conceptualize the social work research process. It is a process by which social workers ask questions, develop and carry out investigations, make hypotheses or predictions, gather evidence, and propose explanations or corroborate evidence. Another definition is that since it involves critical thinking, it can be stated that it is a process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, or evaluating information gathered from or generated by observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, or communication as a guide to belief and action. Let us take an example. One might observe in a particular community that people who are economically weak also have lower level of education. Based on observation of a small group of people, one may conclude or deduce that all poor people are educationally backward, or low educational level leads to poverty. Let us take another example. One might observe in a particular community that economically well-off women are more assertive and aware of their rights. One can make inferences from this observation. Economic empowerment leads to women empowerment. These inferences or knowledge may or may not be a fact and true in a larger social context, since there might be people who are educated but still be poor, or people who have low level of formal education but still be economically well off. Similarly, there might be women who are not economically empowered but they are aware and assertive of their rights and vice versa. Therefore, to build an authentic knowledge, a systematic and scientific approach towards understanding the phenomena is required, which would be true universally or in the larger social context. Since social work profession deals with solving human problems, research in social work can be described as a process of production of knowledge which would help them to provide a better solution to the human problems within the realm of their practice. The information or knowledge can be used to measure the effectiveness of the intervention provided and plan new interventions. In order to establish a knowledge as true, the inferences have to be tested through a systematic and scientific process. Now let us look into what do we mean by a scientific process. A scientific approach starts with organizing the facts and moves towards theory building. It aims at systematic description of the observed facts and of their mutual relations. It consists of three basic steps. These are systematic observations, classification, and interpretation of the data or observations. We will discuss these steps in detail later in this video. Now let us try to have a look on the what are the major characteristics of scientific method. So some of the major characteristics of a scientific method are objectivity, verifiability, reliability, prediction, and replication. Now let's discuss the characteristics of a scientific process in detail. So the first characteristics is objectivity. Now, attempts are made to eliminate any type of subjective biases and personal prejudices. This is ensured through standardized research instruments and tools which are used to gather facts. The next characteristics that is related to the idea of objectivity is the verifiability. The observations must be verifiable, which means that the sets of data can be tested through different analytical tools. The facts or the set of data can be put to scale and measured through different research instruments. Another very important aspect of a scientific research is that the findings or the conclusions can be replicated across time and situations. Same results would be obtained each time with same set of data. A set of data which can be replicated is reliable. Thus, if the findings of a study can be replicated, the conclusion is reliable. If the study is done through scientific process, the results obtained through observations of facts can also predict a social phenomena. For example, exit polls or opinion polls. Let us now discuss some of the areas where research is crucial. So, when we are talking about research, we also need to understand what are the areas where we need research and why it is important. So, it is important because social work is an action-oriented work, and research gives a direction to the actions. Actions or interventions based on a systematic and scientific study, that is research, helps a social worker to solve or minimize the human problem. Research also helps in evaluating the outcome of an intervention and thus modify the intervention if required. In large-scale community interventions, it is crucial at two stages. The first one is at the planning stage and second is at the evaluation stage. So at the planning stage, it is done before the implementation of an intervention to gauge the existing situation. It is also termed as a baseline, which can be used later to measure the impact or effectiveness of an intervention. So before any intervention is provided in a community or at any other place, so the situation and the needs of the community is analyzed first, and this is the planning stage, and accordingly the data is collected and it is seen that what are the requirements, and then only the intervention is implemented. Now after the project has been implemented, the intervention has been provided, the researcher also need to know whether the intervention has been fruitful to the community members or not. So for that, evaluation study is done, and this is done at two stages. One at the middle of the intervention, which is termed as midterm, and the second at the end of the intervention, that is termed as end term. Both are crucial to measure the progress made. The midterm helps to measure the progress made and evaluate the outcome and ascertain whether any changes in the technique or methods are required. The end term also helps to measure the overall impact of the intervention, challenges faced, what went in favor, changes required if any in the methods and techniques. Research in social work is also used to test effectiveness of a specific social work technique as well as methods used in service delivery. Social work research is also needed to build a knowledge base for social work theory as well as practice. It is crucial to understand a social problem to find its solution. So, through research, we understand the problem of the society, we understand what are the problems, and then we try to find out the solution. An authentic knowledge base is required to in decisions at the policy level. So, why talk about level? Because a sound policy is needed to address any social problem, and through research a new policy formulation or changes in the existing policy can be advocated for and influence the decision making. For example, a strong policy for the welfare of the mentally challenged is important for a better implementation of an intervention for this group. Now, research can also help in identifying any gaps in the existing policy and also recommend changes in that policy. So for that, authentic research is very important so that the policy gaps can be recommended through authentic data, which is. Now, when we have understood the need and importance of research, let us move ahead and discuss the types of research approach in social work. So there are inherently two approaches of carrying out research in social work. One is the inductive approach and the other one is the deductive approach. So in the inductive approach starts with empirical observations of some facts, collect data on similar observations or try to identify similar patterns in the observations and analyze those data to draw conclusions to formulate a new theory or knowledge. In other words, inductive research starts with specific observations moving towards theory building. For example, the researcher would observe that an economically backward or poor person is uneducated, observe n number of similar cases and conclude to give a generalization that all poor people are uneducated. In the deductive approach, it starts with an existing theory or knowledge base and develop a hypothesis based on the theory, make observations or collect data and analyze the data to test the hypothesis. The hypothesis can be true or not. In other words, it starts from a general fact to specific observations. For example, the researcher would start with an existing knowledge or theory, all poor people are uneducated. To test this, he can formulate a hypothesis, lack of formal education hampers skill building, leading to poverty. To test this hypothesis, the researcher would collect n number of data and analyze it. The hypothesis can be found to be true or false or null based on the observations. For instance, some observations show that all poor people are not uneducated. In this case, the hypothesis is rejected. The main difference between inductive and deductive approach is that inductive research is concerned with developing a new theory based on observations, while deductive approach is concerned with testing an existing theory. So these are some of the steps of the inductive and deductive approach. So the basic steps of inductive approach are specific observations, moving on to pattern of observations, and then analysis of those observations, and finally conclusion or generalization based on the observations. So theory is built. Now in the deductive approach, first of all, the first step is theory. Based on that theory, hypothesis is formulated, and based on this hypothesis we make observations or data is collected, and after that those data is analyzed, and after the analysis we accept or reject the hypothesis and new knowledge is generated. As social work is action oriented, knowledge generation do not end with one approach. It is a cyclic process inclusive of inductive and deductive approaches. Knowledge is created and tested simultaneously for the human service. So in this figure you can see the cycle of inductive and deductive study, which is always taking place for the knowledge generation and knowledge testing. So we can understand this cycle with an example. So the example which we took earlier, the previous example was that the theory, there might be a theory stating that illiteracy leads to poverty. So let us take this theory, illiteracy leads to poverty. Now based on this theory, an hypothesis can be formulated such as, if female students are made computer literate, then it will improve their employability chances. Now, in order to test this hypothesis, systematic observations would be made, and the observations or the data would then be analyzed with standardized scale. The result may support the hypothesis or may not support it. If it is not supported and it was found that only few increase their employability, the causes of their failure can be observed and similar facts can be collected. These observations can again be analyzed and generalizations like lack of opportunities or cultural aspects hinder the chances of employment of females. These generalizations can be made. With these generalizations, a new addition in the existing theory can be developed, such as illiteracy along with lack of opportunity and cultural aspects leads to poverty. So this is the new knowledge which has been added to the existing knowledge. So a new theory or new knowledge has been developed. So this is mainly this how the cycle of inductive and deductive approach continues. Now let us move on to understand some of the steps of the research process. So some of the basic steps of the research process is being discussed here. So we'll be discussing this in detail in subsequent videos. Here is just a quick snap of the research process. So in social work practice, first step in the research process is problem identification. So first we identify the problem. The next step is review of literature or formulation of hypothesis. So literature is studied, be it in the form of books, journal articles, etc. And we try to understand what the other researchers have found out, and so literature is studied. So after the literature study, the next step is selection of the research methodology. And research methodology is a very crucial aspect of any research. So the authenticity of research depends on the research methodology. So after we have chosen the research methodology, the next step is the data collection and then the data analysis. After the analysis of the data, conclusions and generalizations are made. So I hope this is clear to you. So these were some of the basics of research in social work process. I will be discussing some of these facts in detail in subsequent videos. These are some of the sources which were referred to for making the content of this video. You can also refer to these sources. So I hope you have liked this video. Thank you for watching. So after we have chosen the research methodology, the next step is the data collection.